Robert, I'm really interested in your perspective coming from the US particularly. It seems like the value proposition of an advisor today is being challenged. Do you see that in your market, and do you feel like that's something we should be concerned about?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say there's probably three things that you can look at that have really created this scenario for the advisor. Number one is the regulatory environment. Number two is what many would describe as this epidemic of active management versus passive management. And then the third is technology. And in a nutshell, one is that the advisor from a regulatory perspective has been put under question in terms of remuneration they're receiving relative to the value that they're providing. Secondly, I mean, I think it's probably consistent here in Australia as well, but flows into passive versus active, right? A real focus on cost as the underlying driver is a very significant driver in terms of this impact. Many advisors see themselves as money managers. So when you think about passive versus active, that impacts them as well. And then the third is technology, right? Digital advice, robo-advice, which is threatening to disintermediate the value of advice. And all of these things sort of combined together have put the advisor in a situation that really sort of now makes it incumbent upon them to demonstrate their value beyond providing investment advice. And this is where we believe the real opportunity is. Because while that is true in your years of accumulation, when a family starts to think about the decumulation of assets, aggregating all of their savings and creating a strategy over 20, 30 years, that's a much more difficult problem. And so our feeling is that the opportunity has actually never been greater for advice and guidance, or the need has never been greater for advice and guidance.
Yeah, I think that's right, Robert. I mean, everything you say, although you're talking from a US perspective, everything resonates from an Australia perspective pretty much as well. And, you know, if anything, the recent Royal Commission has amplified that even more. So I think it's very front of mind for advisors, and I think they are certainly eager to have any opportunity to enhance the value that they're providing to their clients.
Yeah, and ours, of course, was the fiduciary role, as you know, that we've been, dealing with for the last, 3 or so years, which again, I think has had a very positive outcome, because I think it's forced the profession to take a far more holistic view of a client's financial situation. So if you're an advisor, you now have the opportunity not only to be concerned about the asset side of their balance sheet, but really lending advice on the liabilities and how critical that is given how long people are going to live.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's certainly an exciting time to be an advisor today. Thank you both. Thank you, Robert and Caitriona, for talking to me today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.